All right, let's talk AI and forget the killer robots and super intelligent computers you've probably seen in the movies. Just for a second. Today, we're going to cut right through all that hype and get to the reality of artificial intelligence. We're going to bust some of the biggest myths and figure out what this technology is actually doing in your life, like right now. So let's dive in.
So, when you hear that term AI, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I mean, for a lot of us, it's a scene ripped straight out of science fiction, right? A world full of self-aware, thinking robots. It feels like this distant, maybe even a little bit scary future. But is that the real story here?
Because the reality is, AI isn't some far-off, futuristic idea. Not at all. It's already in your pocket, helping you connect with people. It's on your commute, helping you navigate traffic. And it's definitely in your inbox, sorting all your messages. You could almost call it the silent partner that's just woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. Okay, so let's tackle our first big myth head on. This idea that AI is just science fiction. The reality? It's all around us, every single day. The truth is, it's one of the most practical and, well, present technologies we have. I mean, just think about your own home. You ask Siri or Alexa for the weather? Yep, that's AI. Netflix recommends the perfect show for you to binge watch? That's AI too. And the reason your inbox isn't a complete and utter disaster of junk mail? You guessed it. That's a pretty smart AI working quietly in the background, filtering out all that spam. And it doesn't stop when you walk out the door. When you're on the go, those navigation apps like Waze or Google Maps, they're using AI to chew through real-time traffic data to find you the absolute fastest route. A lot of newer cars have driver assistance systems, things like automatic braking. That's powered by AI. And unlocking your phone with just a look, that's facial recognition AI. Heck, even when you swipe your credit card, there's an AI working behind the scenes looking for any fraudulent activity to protect you. And it's there at work and at play too. You know those grammar and spell check tools that save us from embarrassing typos? That's AI. The social media feeds that somehow know exactly what to show you? AI. That perfect playlist Spotify cooks up for your workout? Totally AI. And of course, when you pop onto a website for customer service, chances are you're talking to an AI-powered chatbot first. So here's the main takeaway from all this. AI isn't coming. It's already here. It's not some future we have to wait for. It's a present that we really need to understand. It's this powerful and, yeah, often invisible engine that's making life easier and more efficient right now. All right, so that brings us to our next myth. And this one's a big point of confusion. You've probably heard the terms AI, machine learning, and deep learning thrown around, sometimes like they all mean the exact same thing. But here's the deal. They're related for sure, but they are not the same. And getting these terms straight is super important if you want to understand what's actually happening under the hood. So let's start with the big one, artificial intelligence, or AI. Think of AI as the giant umbrella. It's the whole broad concept of creating smart machines. Machines that can do things that normally require human intelligence. You know, stuff like learning, reasoning, solving problems, the whole shebang. Okay, so nestled right under that big AI umbrella, you've got machine learning, or ML. This is a subset of AI. And here's the key difference. Instead of a programmer having to write code for every single possible scenario, with machine learning, you just feed the machine a ton of data and let it learn on its own. It starts to identify patterns and make decisions based on what it's seen. And if we go even one level deeper, we find deep learning, or DL. This is a subset of machine learning. And honestly, this is where things get really cool. Deep learning uses these complex, layered structures called neural networks, and they're actually inspired by the way our own brains work. These networks let it process just vast amounts of data and tackle some seriously complex stuff. So let's put them side by side. On the one hand, you have machine learning. It can get by with smaller amounts of data, and it usually needs a bit more human supervision. It's generally faster to train, and it's fantastic for finding simpler patterns. Now, deep learning, on the other hand, it's hungry. It needs huge data sets to really do its thing, but it learns way more autonomously. It might take longer to train, but the payoff can be incredible accuracy on really, really complex tasks. I'm talking about things like understanding human speech or instantly recognizing what's in a picture. Okay, so we've established that AI is already here, and we've got a handle on the different types. But that brings us to our third myth, and this one is absolutely critical. It's the idea that because AI is a machine, it must be objective and fair. But the reality? Well, the reality is a whole lot more complicated than that. So what exactly is AI bias? Well, the formal definition says it's when an algorithm produces results that are systematically prejudiced, basically because of bad assumptions made during its training. Let me put it more simply. The AI learns from us. It learns, it adopts, and then it amplifies the biases that we, as humans, already have.
So how does this bias creep in? Well, it can happen in a few ways. First, it can start right at the beginning, with a flawed model design that's based on a prejudiced human idea. More often, though, it comes from the data we feed it. The training data might just reflect decades of historical or societal inequities. And get this, even after an AI is out in the world, we, the users, can accidentally reinforce its biases just by how we interact with it.
And look, these data problems are not abstract, they're very real. For instance, if your training data doesn't include enough examples of minority groups, the AI just won't learn how to work well for them. If you train it on hiring data from an industry that's been male-dominated for decades, what do you think it's going to learn? It's going to learn to favor male candidates. The best way to think about it is this. The data is the AI's textbook. And if the textbook is biased, the student will be biased too.
And I want to be clear, this isn't just a what-if scenario. This stuff happens. Take Amazon. They built an AI recruiting tool that was supposed to be unbiased, but they trained it on 10 years of their own hiring data, which, historically, was mostly male. So what did the AI do? It taught itself that male candidates were better. It got so bad it started penalizing resumes that had the word woman's in them, like captain of the women's chess club, and it even downgraded applicants from 2 all-women's colleges. In the end, they had to completely scrap the whole project. All of this brings us to a really, really important point. Understanding what AI is, and especially how it can go wrong, isn't just for fun facts. It's empowering, because if we understand this technology, we can actually start to shape its future. And that's our role in all of this. Maybe the best way to think about AI is like a mirror, a really powerful mirror. It doesn't just invent bias out of nowhere. No, it learns from the data we give it. It learns from the world we show it. And then it reflects our own society, our patterns, our history, our biases, both the ones we know about and the ones we don't, right back at us. The scary part? It does it at a massive scale. And the stakes here, they're incredibly high. Biased AI can absolutely wreck a company's reputation and destroy user trust. More importantly, it can lead to real-world discrimination in things that matter, like hiring, getting a loan, even in the criminal justice system. It can make executives lose faith in their own tools, and yeah, it can definitely attract a lot of unwanted attention from regulators and even lead to lawsuits. Getting this right isn't just a nice-to-have ethical thing. It's a business imperative. So that brings us back to the beginning, but maybe with a new question on our minds. We know AI is a powerful tool, and we know it learns from us. So the real question isn't, what will AI do? The real question is, what do we want to teach it? The responsibility is on us to decide what kind of world we want to show it. What values do we want it to learn? That's something to think about.